Welcome back to another episode of this series, and today we're going to be talking about when to hire people, when is the right time, and what type of people you should be looking to hire. I think this is crucially important to scaling your business past the £1 million mark, as you're definitely not going to be able to do that by yourself unless you're in a very unique niche. As always, this episode is sponsored by iPrac and the Luke Stays Academy. If you haven't checked out those websites, please do so as soon as possible. So let's dive in. Today, let's talk about hiring people. Now, I was a sucker for this. I was a control freak. I should have done this a lot sooner and I didn't. And really, it hurt probably the growth. Now, although I have scaled quite quickly and probably exceeded the expectations of myself and the industry average, I still didn't scale as quick as I think I could have had I got out of my own way quick enough. Now, the biggest shift for me was going from that cost versus investment mindset. So I used to see staff as a cost. I think this comes from probably my childhood and also early days of business, where a lot of people just always talked about keep the costs down, try and run on as limited staff costs as you can. Whereas really the focus for me now is we can take on as much cost as we want. We just need to make sure we're making more money for every cost that we do take on. So every staff member is an investment as long as we're getting an ROI on that investment. And that is really, really important to note. So you've got to look at your staff, or if they're going to cost you £2,000 a month or £2,500 a month, are they going to bring in £7,500, £10,000 a month? And yeah, okay, it might not always be in a financial reward. For example, an accountant might not actually bring in any direct money, but what they might do in terms of saving you time, saving you errors, saving you missed collections, all that type of stuff, it all adds up to value, and that value is therefore an investment and an ROI on your spend. So when to hire is a really important part, because if you hire too early and they're not needed, they're going to sit around, they're not going to do anything, and ultimately you're not going to get an ROI on that investment. However, if you hire too late, then what's going to happen is your time is probably, or somebody else's time is going to be very inefficient, because they're going to be getting dragged from pillar to post. Demotivation is likely to happen, and with some people as well, they might just chuck the towel in and leave you high and dry, which again has happened to me in possibly the worst time. In the main, you want to try and find the balance. Now, I always say, when we have our monthly management meetings, I say to the team, where's the target 12 months from now? And my simple question is, have we got the resources now to get there? Or have we got the resources now to serve that? So if the answer is no, then we need to start the recruitment process early, because it'll take about 10 weeks to find a good staff member, get them trained up, get them into your business, get them into systems and processes, and really embed them in so that they are efficient. So you need to be starting that process. It's no good getting to a point being overwhelmed and then not having the staff. Then you've got to recruit and then go through that 10-week average recruitment phase and training phase and getting them up to speed, because that then obviously reduces your time availability to probably grow the business, work on the business and push it forward. So you want to always try to be recruiting ahead of the game. If you know that a bookkeeper can only deal with so many transactions in the bank, you can work out how many transactions in your bank you're getting per day. You could look at, can we get an automation software to deal with that? If not, when do I need to employ a new bookkeeper? Because we're going to hit those that transaction level, and then we're going to need more transactions. So it's really important that you understand how your business is working, but more importantly, how your business is growing on your averages, as also where you're wanting it to grow. So it's all well and good saying, okay, I want 1,000 units and I want them by next year, but are you actually growing at that pace? Because if you're at 5 units and you're only growing at 5 a month, then naturally you're not going to achieve that. So you wouldn't staff up for 1,000 units. What you need to do is work out where you're growing, what percentages you're growing by, and then what staff resources you need. And by doing that, you're going to put the support around you to actually get there. I say it all the time. A lot of people don't staff up quick enough. They get sucked into operations. They don't continue the deal source, and their pipeline dries up, and they stop acquiring more properties, which equals more money, especially in my game. So, you have to make sure that you're not chucking ops stuff onto a deal sourcer because you're spread so thin and you haven't recruited extra ops people because you're growing too quick, and then naturally that deal sourcer is not going to be out doing any viewings, they're not going to be making any offers, and your portfolio will start to stagnate, and worst case scenario, it might start to shrink. So really, really, really important how you address these issues, but always be future looking, always have a vision, always be planning, but also use data around you to see what is going on. As always, like, comment, share if you can, please. Please share this with somebody that you may find or think that will find it interesting. And don't forget to check out iPrac and the Luke Stays Academy. Take care.